This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Well, hello. Sorry for the delay. We had to do a little bit of a reboot. Today is Portfolio Lab. And the great thing about Portfolio Lab is I look through the photography that you send me for review. I do this every Tuesday and Thursday. If you're here, it means that you're pretty serious about turning your photography into a business. That's what it means. It means that you're serious about turning your photography into a business. Maybe you've been making pictures for a while, but the work that you've been getting paid for doesn't really excite you. Or maybe you're struggling to book any clients because your portfolio doesn't clearly communicate your value. This is exactly why I built Portfolio Lab, to help photographers just like you create that high impact, niche focused portfolio that gets you hired. So who is Portfolio Lab for? Well, let me know if this sounds like you. You know how to make great photographs, but you're not getting consistent high paying work. Might be for you. You're shooting everything, portraits, weddings, events, but you're not standing out in any single niche. You want to break into the editorial, the commercial, or the magazine style market, but you don't have the right portfolio to get hired yet. Or maybe you have some strong images, but your portfolio lacks that direction and it doesn't attract your ideal clients. If that sounds like you, by the way, Portfolio Lab here isn't a place to learn how to use your camera. That's not what we're doing here. The idea is to build a portfolio of the kind of work that commands respect and lands real clients. And through Portfolio Lab, you're going to make strategic images that match the industry that you want to work in, not just shooting random pictures because you felt like it. If you're tired of spinning your wheels and you're ready to build a portfolio that works for you, get on the Carty Method Portfolio Lab so we can get you getting some actual bookings. Are you guys ready for Portfolio Lab? And by the way, every week I give a pro level assignment, and that pro level assignment, I look at those that work on Thursday. Just to give you a heads up, what I'm looking at on Thursday is the end page. The editorial end page, it serves as a powerful punctuation mark, which subtly bookends the entire narrative of a magazine. So the end page, rather than being an afterthought, this final image echoes the theme of the cover. And you know, I gave you a cover assignment last week, but it offers a quiet reflection on the story that you just read. It could be a back view, behind the scenes moment, or abstract detail that leaves an open-ended impression rather than a definitive conclusion. The back page, the end page, is like an outro for the magazine. It shifts the energy from bold, attention-grabbing pictures to a more understated and contemplating closing. You need to create an image that sparks reflection or a sense of continuity. So, a well-crafted end page image can quietly conclude an editorial while keeping the audience engaged, intrigued, and eager to see more of that photographer's work. So that's what we're looking at on Thursday, a successful back page image. And the whole idea here is to create subtle yet powerful visuals that compel the overall narrative while leaving a lasting impression on the viewer. And by the way, all of my weekly assignments are posted inside Portfolio Lab. Check the assignments tab to see what you should be shooting. Okay, so Portfolio Lab, we have a pretty big one this week, starting with a photographer named Ian Martin. Ian says, after a day of assisting with product shots, we pulled out the Singer for some beauty shots. This one is natural light, but I got a few with strobe waiting to be edited as well. This is the one they call Ian Martin, shot with the Z8 50mm 1.4, ISO 250, 1/60th of a second at f/16. I'm excited to see the work from Mr. Ian Martin. Ian, let's get it on. Thanks for submitting. This is a banger, Ian. This is a banger. Like, I'm definitely feeling this picture. It's super strong. It's super bold. Like, you're really making a statement. I like the low angle. Look at this as a cover. This hits so hard as a cover, Ian. This is one of my favorites from you. The location is really strong. I just want you to watch what we call this horizon line. I just want you to watch where that building is going into the car and the mountain is kind of coming in and out of the car. Like, the placement is good. It's just where you're up and down. You have to be really wary of where you place the car, and the color of the car versus the white background against the building doesn't have that much contrast. But overall, this is super sharp. Let's just have a look at this at 100%. It's super sharp. You used a good deep depth of field to get the entire car in focus. This is dirty. I like the fact that you have the headlights on. Dirty means good, by the way. Let's look at this as an 8x10. It holds up very well as an 8x10. I would push the horizon up like this so the car sits a little lower in the frame. But this is aces for me, Ian. This is absolutely an 11 out of 10. This is a yes. This is very, very, very good. Very good. You should be proud. This is Mr. Ian Martin with our first 11 of the day. Very well done, Ian. By the way, if you guys have never seen me before, I'm Carty. I've been a professional photographer for 34 years. It's going to be 35 years next month, which is mental. So let's get into our next photographer. This is Mr. Frank Tom. Frank says, something different this week. I missed last week's cover assignment, but I wanted to submit an image that's taken this week at a horse stable. I wanted to capture the detail of hair in this soft light. Canon R5 70-200 ISO 100 400th of a second 7.1 shot natural light. This is Frank Tom. Let's see what Frank has got for us. Frank, thanks for submitting. So Frank, I'm trying to understand the type of photography that you do. From my understanding, you shoot people. I'm trying to figure out where a horse picture comes in as far as your portfolio. I mean, it's composed well, although it's a touch underexposed. I feel like it needs a little bit more exposure. I would give it a third, but I'm trying to figure out the why and how this fits in with the other work that you've been sending my way. The athletes in the gym, the lifestyle photography, the portraits. I'm trying to figure out where this picture of a horse fits in. So if this is one of those things that you're trying to do as personal work, I want you to look at the work of Jill Greenberg when she's shooting horses. Let's just pull up Jill Greenberg. When you look at Jill Greenberg's work and see the work that she's done as far as animals, and you look at the horse photography, well, I guess I'll have to look at art. It's here. Sorry, I'm going to scroll fast for a second. Here we go. So if you look at this work of horses that she's doing with like studio style backgrounds and light, like I see a fine art application for this. For me, I'm trying to understand how this fits into your portfolio, Frank. That's all. Maybe you can help me understand. Imagine you're trying to train the algorithm. You train the algorithm by shooting one thing specifically. You train the algorithm by solving one problem for one particular person at one place on their journey who's looking for that one transformation. Like, that's what we're trying to do. So throwing a horse picture in confuses me imagine how it confuses your clients. Something to think about, all right? Let me know, Frank. Please shoot me a note and or explain where the horse picture comes into play, okay? Right now, for me, it doesn't fit in your portfolio. It doesn't fit with what you're trying to do. Again, the idea is if you're at a horse stable, take a portrait of one of the people with the horse. Take a picture of somebody who's fixing horseshoes or like grooming the horse or something like. So yeah, like that's what we're trying to do. Like incorporate a person. You are a people photographer. Cool. That is Frank Tom. Next, we are getting into Francis Jeffrey. Francis says, this is a different photo from the same shoot I did for last Thursday's portfolio assignment. Figured I'd pose him with a crucifix for at least one of them, since he was a Notre Dame professor and they are a Roman Catholic school. This is actually intelligent imitation of the guy I saw on the cover of Cigar Aficionado magazine. Rebel SL3, 18 to 55, shot at 20. 20th of a second f8 at ISO 400 in manual. Used a GVM studio light, half power. This is Francis Jeffrey. Let's have a look at Francis Jeffrey. Francis, thanks for submitting. You're starting to get a little bit too wide angle with the portraits, Francis. What happens when you start to go less than 50 is you start to really get some real aberrations in the face. The difference between shooting at 50 millimeter and 20, it gets very wide angle. It gets very wide angle, especially if you're getting close. Now, I'm shooting with a 16 millimeter lens here, which is the equivalent of call it a 20. It's equivalent of what you're shooting. Now, if I come in like really close, or if I go over here to the edges, with video, it looks okay. But once you start to go vertical, this is when like the lines start to get really weird. That's when the lines start to get a little bit strange. I feel like wide angle it's a little bit too much wide angle here. Although your light is good, I want you to be really considering getting a 50 millimeter lens, and getting rid of your 18 to 55 kit lens. I've said it a couple of times. This is absolutely the worst lens on earth. Please get a 50. You have to, if you're really going to take this seriously, Francis, you're going to have to invest in equipment. Shooting with a Rebel from over 10 years ago and a kit lens from 10 years ago, you're going to be limited to as far as how far you can grow. The work that you're making now, you're onto something, but you've now sent me several pictures of this same gentleman. I need a new drug. I need you to find a new subject and then photograph them and share that with me, Francis, okay? Watch the wide angle. This picture is strong. It's strong, but I feel like it's starting to get aberrated it's starting to get a little bit too wide angle. It's a little bit claustrophobic with how close the cross is to the edge, how close his hair is here. It just feels like a little bit tight, and we're not getting a lot of room to put copy. But again, it's like, it's still a good photo, Francis. I want you to now work on extending yourself into finding some more subject matter. Let me just show you what this will look like as an 8x10 once you post it to Instagram. It's going to be around here if you post it to Instagram, or if you decide to make a print that's an 8x10 or an 11x14, this is going to be the crop, just so you know. That, guys, is Francis Jeffrey. Francis, I'm giving you an 11 for this one this week, okay? This is, again, it's a strong image. I just want you to not go too far with the wide angle.
Question?
Someone has a question. Who has a question? Who's got a question? Would the aberration happen with a 35 millimeter on a crop sensor? less, I would say. Here's the thing. Wide-angle lenses are made to be held this way. The whole concept of a wide-angle lens was made for landscape. It was made to get more seen in this way. So when you hold a wide-angle lens this way, what it does, like the stretching and the things that it does to human bodies, is very weird. Now, a 35 millimeter on a crop sensor, a 35 millimeter on a crop sensor, Mike, is very close to 50. So although it's not a 50, it's the same perspective as the 35, but punched in. So although it gives you the same field of view, it's still a lens that's less than 50. So it's designed in such a way to make a little bit of aberration happen. So I would say, yes, it would. And this is why I recommend full frame sensors for anybody who's trying to take photography seriously. And then the 50 millimeter, there's not really aberration on 50. Once you get to 50, that's how the normal eye sees. So that aberration kind of disappears. But then when you do the crop sensor, you have to imagine it's just punching in on the same field of view. So if it's a wide angle lens, you're just punching in on a wide angle lens, but the aberration is still there because that's because of the lens, not because of the crop. I hope that helps. All right, guys, one more look at Francis Jeffrey. Thanks, Francis. But again, you're asking me good questions. When you ask good questions, I'm able to give really good answers. This is William Sedgwick. Sedgwick says, good afternoon, Carty and crew. Shot this photo last year during a teen sibling mini session, around 5:30 p.m. off-camera flash, off-camera speed light, and a softbox. A7 III 85mm 1.8, ISO 100, 2.5 at a 500th of a second. This is a photo from last year. I'm assuming before you knew me. This is Mr. William Sedgwick. William, this is a vibe. I mean, the flash is really shining like this girl quite a bit because she has that like shiny skin. So you're getting that flash here. Why is that going down? You're getting that flash here, and here, which again is from your studio light. Now, are you using this studio light on camera or off? I can see that it's off camera just based on it being on that side axis and this little bit of no shadow. But the light, it's inspired, like it's a vibe. It's just this girl needed to pat her face down. You can see she needs paper towel because it's warm and she's shiny. It's cute though. I mean, for me, is this the type of work that you're trying to do? It works as a cover if you want it to be a cover. Again, it's just the clothing matches, the location is good. Like, it's a good picture. Again, it just depends on what you're trying to show in your portfolio. If you're trying to do more of this work, William, then this is going to do it. Also, what I want you to notice is how you see light and how you see locations. Like this execution could be applied to any type of person. So I want you to be thinking editorial and magazines, like, you said this is also high-speed sync, which we've talked about extensively. I don't need to get into high-speed sync again today, but yeah, and why you don't need to use it. Yeah, please, no more high-speed sync. But again, this is before you met me. I'd love to see you execute this on somebody over 18, somebody like a gentleman, do it for a portrait. I just want to see how you use light once it gets warm enough for you to be able to shoot outside again. This is very well done. Unless you're in a place that you can shoot outside all year round, It's just now starting to get nice for me here in Toronto. The temperature today is a balmy 10 Celsius. 10. And it's sunny out there, which is nice. Yeah, it's nice out there. 10 Celsius. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. All right, guys, that was William Sedgwick. William, I'm giving you an 11 on this picture. I'm just not sure if it's going to go into your portfolio. But it could. I'd love to see you re-execute this picture. Yes, Taylor? Yes. Alrighty. Who's next on my hit list? This is Nadine O'Connor. Nadine says, Carty and crew, thanks for the review and all you do. Wow, you're rhyming. Show us the Viltrox 40 millimeter 2.5 ISO 100 late afternoon natural light f9 1/25 of a second. Trying to improve my subject placement and prop position. The truck is the prop, says Nadine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nadine O'Connor. Nadine, this is a vibe. This is something different from you, which I do appreciate. I'm going to leave my camera away because I don't want to hide this part of the picture. Let me just show you a couple of things that I'm seeing. First of all, let's look at this as a double page spread because it's important for you to see this as a double page spread. Let's make sure that this is at 100%. It is. Let's make sure that my double page spread overlay is also at 100%. Now, I'm not sure about your crop, Nadine, because my crop doesn't lie. Make sure that you're cropping at 2:3. Which my frame is 2:3. You'll see as I look at other horizontals today. Your picture's cropped differently just based on that inch that's coming, or that little bit that's coming over there, and this little bit that's coming over here. So don't recrop your photos. I need to see the exact frame, and your frame should be 3:2. So it's 3 across that way, and it's 2 down that way. Okay, so exposure is the first thing. This is mixed light because the light is coming from back here. So you can see that light is shadowing like half of his face. So we have that part of his face lit and then this part of his face not lit, which is not exactly flattering on anybody. You can see that like half light through his face. Now the idea is you got to commit. You got to do either sunlight when the sunlight's in the right place or shade. But it's hard to do half light. It never really works because the sun's always in the wrong spot. Now your sun is really quite low. So for me, I would have turned this guy that way and had the sun hitting him, and then had you coming and hitting the truck from this direction, more from this direction. And then you would have got the light on his face properly. So, yeah, and Mike's talking about the sizing that you've saved the photo. The sizing is wrong. But for me, it's more the proportions. Make sure that the proportions are exactly, and it's not exactly 6,000 by 4,000. It's like, yeah, it's like 4,000 by 5.9 and change is kind of how it works. So let's again look at this border. Nadine, this is close. The truck looks ominous and really big. But let me move my top bar here. Top bar might be. What this is doing is getting really close and claustrophobic up here and over here. So that for me is what we're trying to watch. This is just a little bit close. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more of the fender here on the truck. I would have loved to tuck this behind this guy so we don't see that. These are all small things, Nadine. You're getting better every single time that you shoot. Keep swinging. Just watch your light and try not to use mixed light like you're doing right here. Shade is always going to be the best. And then the direct sun with the first hour of sun in the morning or the last hour of sun before sunset. And you had that last hour of sun because I can see it in his glasses right here. We just had to hit him from a different angle. Good job and good swing, Nadine. Thanks for submitting. Nadine O'Connor. Well done, Nadine. All right. This is Gerard Danso. Gerard says EOS 5D Mark III, 7200 L series, 1/200th of a second, 1/250th at f5. This is 2 8600s. This is Gerard Danso. Let's get it on. This is a picture that's starting to work for me. The light is good. It's just his body language, because his body language is kind of like he's in between. His body language is it's not believable, but the light is way more inspired than anything that you've done for me before, and the post-production is better than anything that you've done for me before. The exposure is super clean. The background is super clean. It's just the body language, Danso. It's just the body language. His fingers are a little bit close to the edge down here. Keep in mind, when we print, you're going to lose like 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Not 1/4 of an inch, but call it 1/8 of an inch. So you're going to lose like that much. But you framed this very well. You framed it very well for an 8x10. You framed this very well for a cover. And Danso, this is such a leap for you. This is such a leap for you. I'm giving you an absolute 11. The only thing you now need to work on, keeping everything else the same, are poses. And that means looking at poses when you're shooting men. And this gentleman, he's very stiff. Whenever you're taking pictures and you feel like your model is stiff, that's the time to put your camera down and help them, walk them through it. You have to recognize that stiffness, okay? I hope this helps you. This is definitely a yes for me, though. I'm giving you an 11, Danso. This is a huge, huge jump from last week. Well done. Very well done. Again, shit's working for this guy. Good deal. This is Kivian Durit. Kivian, this is my first submission. I've been shooting for 3 months. I wanted to say thank you for the one-on-one this past week. You're very welcome. Shot in Staunton, Virginia. Shot in Staunton, Virginia using natural light. Sony A7R5, 35mm 1.4, ISO 50, 2.5, 1/100th of a second. This is Kivian Durit. Kivian, thanks for submitting. I mean, you're 3 months in, bro. So there's quite a few things that we have to be nailing. In this kind of a situation, the first thing that I'm going to say is he's too high up on the stairs. He's too high up on the stairs, or you're too low on the stairs. I know that you're framing him within here and blah, blah, blah. But to me, you're trying to make two pictures here. You're trying to make a picture of the stairwell and this doorway, and you're trying to make a picture of this guy. He's also looking off and to the left, which we, the viewer, don't know what's over there. And also, we're now looking over there and we're not connecting with him. The thing that we need to work on when you're shooting portraits is connection and getting close. His outfit is kind of just whatever. It's like a mishmash of Nike and Carhartt and Grateful Dead, and like his outfit is all over the place. And is he a subject that you're going to put in your book, in your portfolio, that's going to get you more subjects? This is just practice. And I understand you're only 3 months in, but find people that are compelling and interesting enough to make pictures of. Practice with non-distracting backgrounds, meaning don't try to be putting a person in a scene yet. Work on finding amazing light and non-distracting backgrounds. This color balance, it feels cold because it feels cold because you're shooting in shade, which you're supposed to do because that gives you better light. The light on his face is great, but the exposure is under, and it's under by, I would call this a third to a half of a stop. So bump up your exposure a third to a half of a stop. Don't try to make two pictures. You can imagine you can take this guy out of the picture and it's still like an interesting picture of the stairs and the blah, 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 blah. But now, once you do that, now I'm looking at how you're cutting this, how much of the railings that I see, the fact that the railings are dirty, the fact that the stairs are dirty, chipped. Like, I'm now looking at too much of the place that you chose and not enough at him. So if you're choosing a location, the location has to be not like, how can I put it? Not so right there. You know what I mean? Like, let me show you just different ways that I use locations. I want you to see how this particular use of location, like, it's a leading line. So I'm pulling you all into Pharrell. I mean, I shot this work not yesterday. Let me find another example. Location, the way I'm using a non-distracting background, so it just pulls you into the subject. Again, complementary background, but non-distracting. So you see the subject. I pull the colors from the background. Also the color, I pick backgrounds that are complementary to the outfit. Again, the background is way further back and you see him and you see textures, but you don't necessarily care or know about the place that we're in. You can see here, clearly we're in a barber shop, but she's a barber and is very hot and cool to photograph, and she has style. So all of those things make it so she's a real person that I can put in my portfolio. But when we're using locations, we have to be using them strategically. This is Grandmaster Flash, like in a relatively busy location, but I put him on the other side of the fence just to add a little bit of a dynamic. So what I want you to be thinking about, Kivian, is location choices. For the first bit, I would suggest you just shoot up against walls, up against non-distracting walls. Pull your subject a bit off the wall and really isolate the subject. Focus on eye contact, and you can't just shoot anybody. If you want to progress fast, you have to be a little bit more scrutinous with who you allow to be in front of your camera. Not everybody goes in your portfolio. So the more you're hyper specific with the type of people that you're trying to shoot, the more your work is going to stand out faster. I hope that helps. This is Kivian. Thanks for submitting, my guy. First submission, Mr. Kivian Direct. Thanks for submitting, Kivian. This is our next submission. Oh my goodness, I forgot to tell you guys that I have finally started to do courses. Like, people have asked me about courses and do I do courses? And I have, like, the thing that's crazy about what I'm doing with the Carty method is there's one system. The Carty method is one system that I deliver many different ways. So I deliver it in my accelerator. My accelerator is closed. You can't get into my accelerator until September-ish. But I do have the same material that I teach my accelerator members available for you to buy a la carte. It starts with phase 0, and phase 0 is basically, it sets your stage. And you can see, if we go to the Carty method right here and you go to courses, you can just go through here through my phases. And phase 0, this sets your stage. This is available now. Just click phase 0, and it's a deep dive here on everything that phase 0 is about. And you can pick it up now at a very, very greatly discounted price. This is for anybody who's trying to start their career, or their photography business is broken and they need serious help. So that sets your stage. And then phase 1, you do after phase 0, which is your work and your market. After that, it's the packaging. Once you know your market and you're making the right work for that market, you have to package it. After you package it, well, you need to think of your business like a business, but we're not in the business of pictures. We're in the business of bringing value to your business. So in phase 3, I help you set up your business like a business, and I help you create an offer that is so good you'd be a silly fool to refuse. Phase 4 is all about the systems. I teach you the systems that I use to make well over $100,000 a year, and also the systems that you can use to run your business and scale your business and get clients on autopilot and send proposals and invoices. Like, I just tell you all the systems that I use. Phase 5 is outward reach. This is when you're now ready to hunt for top tier clients, and I teach you exactly how to find and reach out to them. And phase 6 is integration and mastery. This is where I teach you how to put all of these things together. Right now, you can get phase 0 to phase 2. Right now, they're available. And then phase 3 to 6 are available in the coming weeks, starting with phase 3 and 4 are coming very soon. So if you're interested in my courses, go to thecartymethod.com in the course section and get yourself set up. All right, on to my accelerator members. This is Natalie Bennett. Natalie says, this photo was taken in December. I was trying a different technique with lighting. Sony A7 IV 35mm Tamron 2.8, shutter speed 1/200th of a second, 4.5 ISO 100. Shot with a 300 watt newer strobe with grid. This is Natalie Bennett. Natalie, I haven't seen your work in a while. Welcome back. Natalie, this is very close. This is very close. You're really starting to get into a groove here. There's a couple of things that are happening, and I think I know why. Because you're shooting full frame, wide angle, I'm going to show you something that's going to break your brain. Look at how big his arm looks compared to his head. Yes or yes? Look at how big his arm looks compared to his head. His head is further back. His arm is close, which aberrates his arm and makes his arm look disproportionately big. It's because you're shooting vertical with a wide angle lens. So do you guys see what I'm talking about with this arm versus his head proportion? Looks incredibly exaggerated. So for that, that's not shooting with a 50. That's shooting wide angle. So my hope is that you're going to kind of start flipping into a 50, so you're not getting this type of aberration. Okay, compositionally wise though, Dr. Bennett, this is really strong, Natalie. Compositionally, it's strong. Let me show you this as an 8x10. You can see it works strong as an 8x10, but I promise you, you're never going to be able to not see how exaggerated that right arm is. Shooting him over the shoulder is like, you can see this guy fancies himself as a guy who has big arms. He's even holding his other arm underneath his arm to prop his muscle to make it look bigger. So it's just one of those things that, like, vanity is the destruction of the soul. But he's wearing a tank top. He wants to show his arms. And in fact, I'm willing to bet that he posed this way in order for you to see the bigger of his two arms. So in these kinds of situations, again, it's up to you to kind of like quash egos just a little bit and like bring people back down to earth and photograph them in a likable, approachable way. This guy, he's trying to be cool guy too much, and because of that, like, he's a shorty. He looks like he's 5'2". You know what I mean? So like this kind of vibe, it's just like like I want you to be trying to photograph him, not his right bicep. And in this case, it looks like it's like my my bicep picture. Your light is very close. It's inspired. I like you using negative light here, which is inspired. The way that you lit this, bringing in light this way, and just like a little bit of a reflector in here is very, very good. You just needed to square him up. You just needed to turn him forward and have him shoulders across and head, and then have him maybe cross his arms and look at camera, and then also shoot with the 50, because his head looks like a peanut compared to how big his arms are. So, and again, that's because of the vertical wide angle. I hope this helps you. This is Natalie Bennett. Again, Natalie, this is a very good swing and a very good attempt with you being back after quite a while of you not being here. I just want to see more. And do not let your subject's vanity overpower your ideas. That goes for everybody.
Yes, sir, yes.
All right, that goes for everybody. Remember, most people who want to be in front of the camera have some sort of like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? You need to like bring them down to earth. You're not that cool, bro. I'll make you cooler, but it's better if you don't try to be cool. As soon as someone's trying to be cool, it's like, it's tacky. Do you know what I mean? And this is right on that ledge. Right on that ledge of trying to be cool. You're also, this hand is blocking a good bit of that light that's hitting his face here. You can see you're like lighting his arm. This arm seems to be a very important part of this photograph, Natalie. I want you to ask yourself why. I hope this brings you value and more value. Natalie Bennett. All right, this is Mr. Juan Herrera. Juan says, hey, Carty, considering adding to my portfolio an actor's headshot. EOS R 85mm 100 ISO f5.6 1/25th of a second. 2 strobes were used. I hear you guys babbling in chat because you say I never wear a white t-shirt. Well, I wear white t-shirts all the time, but I just don't wear them when I'm shooting or when I'm on the air. Like especially in the summer when it's John Blaze outside, I'm not wearing black. I'm wearing white usually because my skin's already black to like reflect a little bit of the sun away from me. So I wear white a lot. I quite like it. White hoodies, I wear cream. But I have this brand that you guys know me as, and it's always the black t-shirt. But I did do this Carty Method t-shirt in black, white, and gray. And I did the hoodie in black, white, and gray. Hey, Alec. Thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate you. Welcome to the crew. So, yeah, that's the vibe. I'm wearing a white t-shirt. And also, just a little something different for your eyes seeing me on stream. You got to change it up every once in a while. You know what I mean? I have a white car, white glasses, white t-shirt. So, actor's headshot from Juan Herrera. Let's see what you got. Guanin. Juan, well done. Juan, this is a vibe. The light is nice. The placement's nice. The balance of the light between your highlights here and your main light are kind of neutral. I would love this backlight to come in like plus a third over what this is. And then the overall exposure in this part of the face, this is over. I'll call this a third over, maybe 20% to a third. A third is 33%, by the way. So it's about a third of a stop over. We're just starting to go a little bit too white in the highlights in a couple of spots. I mean, it's really close one. It's strong. It's editorial, which is what I like. His shirt, I don't love. The openness of his shirt and this lapel flopping over and the collar not folding where a collar's supposed to be. All of this looks like a little bit too like dance-y. If someone's wearing a button down, they have the button down like one button, two maybe, but this guy's got buttons undone down to his chest, which is makes me question, like, is he trying to be cool guy? Which it kind of always comes back to. Again, this is a strong picture. Always watch the styling. You can see, again, I know for me, shirt wise, I would have just picked like a mock tight t-shirt, like a mock or what do you call it, a crew, like a crew t-shirt, or like a long sleeve t-shirt, something like this that's nondescript. Especially for actors, you don't want them to be seen. Like, t-shirt is like the best way to shoot an actor, just black t-shirt. And if it's not a black t-shirt, it's like this kind of a shirt that I have underneath here, you know, it's just like a black like simple, like, these are great for photos because they're invisible. You don't see them, you just see your subject. So for me, that I would have loved to see the shirt different. And it would have, like, again, this guy fancies himself as like muscular, so he's trying to show his chesticles. And he's, you know, the clenchy, he's trying to show the rock jaw. Like, you know, there's, again, like, for me, so much of headshots is likability. And it's up to us to make our subjects likable with how we direct them and how we take the piss out of them. Because male model, think Zoolander. Like, seriously, think Owen what's his name? Owen Wilson in Zoolander, that character that he plays. I mean, I know you're saying these are actors, but actors are just model who 2.0. You know what I mean? They pretend to be other people for a living. So their egos are usually somewhat huge, and they need some sort of validation, you know? So for us, meaning the value creators, content creator, photographer, whatever you want to call yourself, it's up to us to go like this. Grab a needle and go just a little bit. You need to deflate them just a little bit. You know what I mean? Because then people are likable. You know what I mean? You got to pump them up a little bit more. But when someone comes deflated, you pump those people up. But people who come inflated, like they're, dude, I'm so gorgeous, look at my chesticles. Like, I just get that feeling from this guy. And when it's a dude, other dudes want to punch him. Do you know what I mean? Other dudes want to punch him. All he needs is just the slightest bit of friendliness in his face, the slightest bit of likability in his face. Instead, he's putting on this, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, anyways, it's up to us to get these actors in front of agents. It's our job as a photographer to get, and part of that job is making that person likable, which means they have to be a little lighter in the face. Just the slightest bit of like happy to be here. Just the smallest bit of that. I think you're missing all of that in this guy's expression. I'm not sure if you have other edits. Also, his pupils or his eyes are quite dark, right? So I'm not seeing like the actual pupil in his eye. I am seeing his contact lens here, but I'm not seeing that the actual eye. And because of the contrast, that also makes him look like he has no soul. So these are all things that like you can work on that in the shadow highlight. You can do a little dodgy to bring his eye, like his eyes back up. These are all small things, Juan, but work on all of those things. And again, don't waste your time if you don't have another edit that doesn't show this guy as like a little bit more friendly. It's our job to is to like take Zoolanders and turn them into like more likable characters. You know what I mean? So just think of like Beckham. You know what I mean? Ever seen Beckham in an ad? And he's like oozing sex and he's got his pants like down so you could see like his pubic hairline. And he's all like, aren't you like, dude, like, ew. Like, don't you feel that when you like, ew, when you walk by? You know what I mean? Like, it's just over the top. You know what I mean? But think of like a guy like Brad Pitt. Like when you see that guy, I mean, he used to do that shit when he was in his 20s, but now he's just rugged and hairy and just like gives no fucks. And he's way more handsome than he was when he was younger because he's like more rugged and he's not trying so hard, you know? So when you're shooting male models, male actors, the less hard they try, the better. That is my advice for you, Mr. Herrera. It's still a banger of a picture. I just want to see another edit. Like, again, just FYI, you're carrying the whole show here, bro. You're carrying the whole show with the light, the background, and like your closeness. He's ruining it for you because he's not giving you back what you're giving him. So because of this image benefits him more than it benefits you. But again, it goes back to him trying too hard. I like it though. I'm torn. Truly, I'm torn. One, I would like to see another edit. I'd like to see this guy laugh if it wasn't fake. I feel like he'd be the worst fake laugher, you know? You know, like that guy. Like you're just like, you don't believe him. You know what I mean? I want to see like a real, genuine, like something from this guy with a different shirt. I hope that brings you value, Mr. Juan Herrera. And again, I know your photography. I know how hard you hit. Yeah, it's like, show me another edit or do this light on a more friendly face. You guys with me still? You with me still? You with me? I enjoy my time with y'all, you know? I really do. I really, really, really do. Let's have a look at Miss Natalie Murdoch. Natalie says, hello, gang. Another picture from my favorite spot as my subject for a portrait session canceled on me last minute. AR7 Mark II, 55 millimeter, 1.8, ISO 320, or ISO 3200, I mean. ISO's a little high, Nat. 5.6, 80th of a second, shot natural light. Let's see what Miss Natalie Murdoch has in store for us. Natalie, this is a vibe for sure. This is a vibe. Let me just look at your settings for a second. 3200, 5.6 at 80. You could drop down to f4 from 5.6 and go from 3200 to 1600. Yeah, I would do that. F4, 80th of a second, 1600. Your camera holds up though. Your camera holds up. Let's have a look at this at 100%. Your camera does hold up grain wise at that ISO, so I'm not really stressing. The light is really good. Obviously, this girl's skin, I mean, if she would do well to have a little bit of skin retouching, but this is strong, Natalie. The only thing I'm asking for you to do now is another trick. Like, as I asked last week, is like, do this for me. Put a different background color up here on the wall. Put another background up there. So you're changing the background color, or go outside, go out this door that I can see that you're standing in front of right here. Go out this door that you're standing in front of right there. Go out that door and around the corner and find a piece of open shade and try this light on location. I like it though, Natalie. You're on your way as far as really understanding this composition for covers. You're really starting to get this vibe. I'm actually even liking your very repetitive, like straight on crop. Like, I'm liking this composition that you're doing over and over and over again. I'm liking it. I just want to see you vary it with trying to do it on location, trying to do it outside, and soon enough you're going to be doing it again in the studio. So this is a really good push. This is a good push for me. I'm giving you some love, Natalie. That is an 11 for me. Very strong, very believable expression. Obviously, you can go in and get rid of the dust that's on her shirt. Clean up a couple of the flyaways and stuff like that, and then just go in and do a little bit of skin retouching. Or you just hire a skin retoucher to take care of all of this stuff for you. But this is well done, guys. That's Natalie Murdoch. Well done, Natalie. And again, just so you know, I'm judging you against you. Just FYI, I judge you against you. There's no instance where I'm judging you against any of the other photographers that you're watching here right now. This is UVU, simple and true. So if you're wondering about submitting photos, if you're stressing about having your work looked at because of the level of photography that you see submitted here, understand that we all start from scratch. And I'm taking you on a journey. The photographers who are at the highest level with me all started from scratch, and everybody's switch gets turned on at a different time. So I judge you against you. This isn't a competition. You're only in competition. You're only in competition with yourself, to be honest. Whew. This pen, this Wacom tablet pen cost $100. The tablet cost $500. And I just dropped this thing. And I'm like, is my baby okay? So I had to replace this. Like, since I bought, like, the tablet comes with the pen, obviously. But a couple years ago, I had to buy another one of these. I think it was maybe last year before I bought another one. When I saw the price, I was like, what? Wow. So anyways, yeah, I just dropped it. I shit my pants there for a second. Our next shooter is Lamont DeSalle. Lamont says, hey, Carty and crew. My members do that stuff to me. If you're a member, you can glitch my screen. You can, yeah, but talk to these two. These two are the ones that are at home right now controlling my shit. These two. These are the ones who glitch me and take photos and all that stuff. Could be you too. Who knows? It could be you. All right. So Lamont says, I shot this lady for a magazine submission a couple of weeks ago. Want to use this image for my portfolio. Let me know what you think about this photo. As always, thanks for your insight. Z6, 50 millimeter, 1.8, ISO 400, 7.1, 1/60th of a second, one Godox 8600 Pro key, and a 18400 Pro fill. next to me. Let's see what you're doing with your key fill situation here, Mr. Lamont DeSalle. Thanks for submitting. Lamont, I think your subject is pushed too far into the cove of the background, like where the like your seamless goes like this, right? I put my subject like 4 or 5 feet away from the wall. You have your subject right here, like she's standing right on the curve. So that's rule number 1. Also, it's pushing that shadow right on the background. And I also see where that curve is going right across here. And it also means as if this is the floor of the seamless and your model is here. Your model should be here. And then you're standing here, meaning you're hitting it from the side instead of standing here, hitting it straight there. Yes or yes? I can see because this is crooked and because I've shot in studios for 35 years. I know that you're skimming her. You're not shooting her straight on. You're shooting her that way, which makes it impossible to have these lines straight. And you also have her way back here, which means it's impossible for the shadow to then actually hit the ground. And then because you're using 2 lights, I see shadows going this way and I see shadows going that way, which is why we know that we never landed on the moon, because there's only one light. There's only one sun. And when we light subjects, we don't cross light, which is what you're doing right now. So, for me, this is technically not as strong as I need your work to be, Lamont. And then up here, the hair cleanup looks very unrealistic. With this texture of hair, there's no way that this texture of hair is looking like this on the edge. It looks, especially looking like what it looks like here. This looks like a wig, or it looks like foam. It doesn't look real because of the flyaway cleanup that you're doing. It looks very unrealistic. And when you see it here, it looks like a cut and paste. It looks like you clipped her and cut her all the way around here and then placed her on that background. Yes or yes? So, the skin retouching, like, I'm not sure if they're adding this texture or if this is her skin. The lips are overpainted. There's just so much that's wrong with this photograph, Lamont. There's so much, all the way down to the fact that her shoes are a size too big. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, her shoes are too big. And again, I don't miss a single thing. I don't miss a single thing. And you can't miss a single thing either. The cross light here, no bueno. Light going this way and light going that way, no bueno. Skin retouching is a little bit extra, and the hair retouching is extra. This, for me, may be okay for her, but it's not okay for you. And when you're shooting dark hair on a contrasting background, you can't clean it up this way and make it so perfect, because it just ends up looking like she's wearing a contraption on her head. It doesn't look like real hair. So, Lamont, this one for me is a no. You have to take everything that I said, and the next time I see you shoot in the studio, I want to see all of these mistakes fixed, yeah? This is Lamont LaSalle. The most important one is, number 1, hit your subject straight on. You see me in my videos drawing, like with masking tape, like making lines so I know to stay on that axis. The second thing, how far back into the background she is. You'll never see me shoot on a seamless and have the model like being able to reach back and touch the seamless. Like, she's this far off the back, which means that at some point she's going to step back and step through the curve, which is going to mean you're going to have to cut this piece of paper and pull down new. So we have to be assassins in the studio. We have to be assassins. And believe me, everything that I'm seeing in this photo, an art director, a photo editor, or somebody in the know is going to see the same thing. So you have to have a very scrutinous eye when you're looking at your own photos, and more importantly, when you're making them. That is Lamont DeSalle. Thanks for submitting, Lamont. Ready to take your photography business to the next level? I've created 3 powerful tools designed to make an immediate impact on your workflow, your client outreach, and your daily habits. These resources will help you work smarter, grow faster, and feel more confident in building your career. You'll find links to all 3 under tools at thecartymethod.com. If you're struggling to find clients, my Cold Outreach Master Pack has everything that you need to land new business. It includes 18 proven email templates and a step-by-step guide for writing emails that get opened and generate real responses. If you're ready to take your client hunting strategy up a notch, this pack gives you clear, effective blueprints to start getting results. Consistency builds success. My professional photographer habit tracker is your daily accountability tracker. It helps you build the habits that matter most to running a successful photography business. Track your progress, set meaningful goals, and stay focused on what moves the needle. If you're serious about making steady progress, this tracker is a game changer. Shoots can get chaotic. Stay organized. My Ultimate Photographer's Call Sheet is your one-stop solution for planning and managing every detail of your shoots. From client communication and location info to equipment checklists and timelines, this tool helps you stay on top of it all. With my call sheet, you'll run your shoots like a seasoned pro, no matter how big or small the project. This is the call sheet that clients will remember forever. These tools are built for photographers who are serious about their craft and ready to streamline their businesses, connect with clients, and build professional habits that last. You can find them all under tools at thecartymethod.com. Let's start transforming your business today. Well, it's about time that you've engaged with my live chat. This is my live chat, not my comments. My comments go under the videos. This is live chat because I'm live and I'm reading everything that everybody is saying to me while I'm doing this program. This is why lives are so powerful, because not only are you able to talk to me directly, I'm able to see everything that you're saying, but my community, the Carte Method crew, the Carty crew, these guys are, and ladies are the best, the most helpful, the most encouraging people on the internet, and they're all watching me. Like attracts like. So understand that, there's a reason that what I'm doing here works. Is you don't only have my support, but you have the support of all the people who are in my community, and everybody's at a different place with me and the Carte Method. Everybody helps each other. And Portfolio Lab zeroes in on phase 2, which is the packaging, and phase 1, which is your work in your market. So phase 1 and 2 we're doing right here, because that's the most in-depth part that photographers need someone to help them with, is developing the work, developing the portfolio. So I do that Portfolio Lab for you. But the rest of the phases, meaning phase 0 and phase 3, 4, 5, and 6, like that is creatively sprinkled throughout my content. Or you just buy the phases and have it like intensely, like just bang, 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 bang. I give you the roadmap. I tell you exactly what to do. All right, guys, that was Mr. Lamont DeSalle. We got a few more photos to go. This is Joshua Haney. Joshua says, portfolio consideration, another photo from my session last week with my brother. R6, 85mm f2, 1/25th of a second, ISO 50, 5.6. Single strobe on location. This is the mighty, the talented Joshua Haney. Let's get it on, Joshua. Josh, this is a vibe. This is the vibe. It's really strong, friendly, approachable vibe with him. Your light placement, I'm not 100% on your light placement. I'll get into that in a second. Let's look at this as a double page. And you'll notice, by the way, when I frame this as a double page, Nadine, and you'll notice as I frame this as a double page, Nadine, that I don't have to, there's no push out beyond my frame, because Joshua has provided me his whole picture with no cropping. It's a 2x3. So this is a textbook double page. Like, Joshua, I couldn't have made a more textbook layout as far as the double page myself. Now, let's get into strobe placement. The one thing is your strobe needed to be two things. Number one, higher, and number two, pushed around that way first, a little bit, okay? So I'm going to show you. I know exactly where your light's placed because I'm a magician, and also light travels in straight lines. So here's the tip of his nose on that shadow to the tip of his nose, and I can see exactly the height of your light. And also, secret time, there's a catch light in his eyes that shows me the height of his eyes in proportion to his head. So I see exactly where the light is. And also, I see it, I think right there. Maybe not. No, maybe not. That's probably a different reflection. So I see that. Now, that's the first thing. The second thing is this shadow. And the fact that that shadow is going so laterally across the side of his face, it needs to be coming this way. And what that would do is then push that shadow down this way and hug into this shape on his cheek. Okay? Now, what it would also do is it's going to pull this shadow from the side of his face. It's going to pull this shadow in a little bit more as you go around that way with the light, and leave you with a nice little Rembrandt pocket of light there. Okay? So for me, the light needs to be skied and moved that way. The tell is always this nose shadow right there. This nose shadow, if you look at any photo, this nose shadow, if it's a soft edge, it means that it's soft light or diffused. Oh my goodness, that's a bad S. Diffused. Diffused? Yeah, you get the idea. Diffused. It's hard to write with the tablet, trust me. And then if it's hard, it means that it's not diffused. Diffused? No, not two S's. There you go. And it's hard light, which imitates sun. Sun on a cloudless day. Okay? Soft light is overcast sun. Okay? So exposure, Joshua, perfect. Composition, perfect. Light placement, not exactly perfect. I would love to see that again. Again, watch this line and always know that if this is a person's head, I have my light like up here, and the distance is probably at times 2 to 3 feet that I'm like aiming like again, I can't exactly measure because I do it all based on how tall the person is and blah, 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 blah. But it's all based on this nose shadow. So that is a secret for everybody who is at home watching. That is how you can, number one, tell how any single person lit a face. You'll be able to tell how anybody lit a face. And you'll also know where the light's coming from. You can do that with any single person. So Joshua Haney. I'm giving you an 11 on this. Compositionally very strong. Exposure very strong. Location very interesting. This is so close, Joshua. It's warranted of an 11. But I gave you the things that I want you to look at the next time you shoot portraits. Okay? I hope that helps you. That was Mr. Joshua Haney. Well done, Joshua. I gave you an 11, right? That's an 11. Yeah? By the way, if you're wondering about this mental math that I'm doing, I see the matrix. It's what I do. I'm a photographer. I don't just like play this game. I've been a pro. Here, let me tell you about it. I said, here, let me tell you about it.
Treat everybody like a superstar. Famous people less like a superstar. I treat famous people like real people. I started as a photographer, I would say professionally, when I was 20. My brother's a fine art painter, heavy influence on me, and I couldn't paint, so when I discovered the camera, it was really easy for me to express myself creatively. Everybody's in the business of glorifying celebrities, so capturing them, it's already glorifying them by photographing them. So if I can get them a little bit more understated, I feel like it brings up the real. In 1997, I shot Tom York from Radiohead, most important picture of my career. In 2001, I shot Pharrell Williams for Peace magazine. Again, very important picture. Colin Firth, a week before he won his Oscar, career moving pictures where that picture propels a whole new wave of clients, a whole new wave of people looking at my work. I think pivotal career-changing pictures are more important than favorite pictures, because they're all my favorite. The whole idea is make good stuff and share it and do it every day.
So Taylor Valentine says, I recently dug this one of my pre-Carty method era archives and took a shot at reprocessing it all the way from raw with some distracting elements, other climbers, cloned out. This photo is of an unknown skier taken in 2023 atop Mount Washington. I'm submitting this as a potential lifestyle shot for the snow sports industry. 7D, Tamron 17 to 50. Shot at 17, ISO 250, f9, 1/1600th of a second. I got that right. 1/1600th of a second. Guys, this is Taylor Valentine. Let's get it on, Taylor. I like this a lot, bro. I like this a lot. And you know, the funny thing is, this is pre-Carty method era for you, but it wasn't pre-understanding of composition and photography. Like, this is a vibe. Let me look at this as a cover. This is a vibe. I love the way that you're showing scale, although you are using a bit of a wide angle lens here because of how you framed it. You're not getting the same kind of distortion because he's further away in the frame than closer up. This is a yes for me, Taylor. This definitely can come in. The fact that you cloned away the skiers, I would never know that there was other skiers. You did the clone perfectly. Let's look at this as an 8x10. It fits as an 8x10. You have the option of actually cutting away the blue sky altogether and just showing it that way, or dropping the skier quite low in the frame and showing that little band of blue sky above that for context. You have both options. I like removing the sky and showing it to you just like this. That to me is a vibe. I would even pull it in a little bit more to hide that little bit of blue in here. But this is a yes for me, Taylor Valentine. It's strong. Let me look at it close up. I want to make sure that your focus is right. Yeah, this is tight. You should be pleased with this picture considering it's a while ago. Obviously, his styling, the colors are a little bit all over the place, but still I feel like it holds up. Well done. Well done. Taylor, you happy? She's she's happy. Taylor Swift's tripping. Well done. Well done. Well done. That, my friend, was Taylor Valentine. Good shit, Taylor. Again, more is all I want from you. More photos, more photos, more photos, more regular submissions. Next is Anton Duras. Anton says, hey, Carty and crew, welcome to Singapore, Changi Airport. Singapore. I'm just pretending. Singapore Changi Airport. Please let me know if I could add this to my portfolio. Thank you. Sony a6600, Sigma 18 to 50, ISO 2500, 6.3, 1/400th of a second. This is Anton Duris. Anton, this is a vibe. I mean, the idea is for us to not be making a tourist picture. This lady down here does make this feel like a bit of a snapshot. Looking at this larger, you can see this is where your sensor kind of falls apart on that A6600. When we get a little bit closer, we see that noise. Let's look at it full screen again. Compositionally, Anton, this is very strong. You can see it as a cover. Truly, the only thing I would do is I would clone out this person right here. I would clone out that person, clone out this person taking this photo from here, and perhaps clone out that person. And then I think then all the other people are acceptable in where they're placed. This is a strong one for me. This is a strong one. Let me hide my cover and show you this as an 8x10. You can't really cut any of this. You can't really cut this out. It's quite necessary with this 8x10 crop, just to show you what it would look like if I made this cropped any other way. Like, you can't really crop where the water is going into. So cropping it this way and not showing you the bottom doesn't quite work. Like, you can see, like, you really do need to see the bottom of this frame. So again, clone out those two people, and I believe this can go in your portfolio. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I cannot wait for you to upgrade your body, Anton. I can't wait. And that has been on the list for you for how long, mister? You definitely need to upgrade the camera body. Upgrade. Again, you're making amazing pictures with what you have. I know that, yeah, I know that you're doing your best. I just feel like the resolution on some of this is really good, but I can't wait till you have a better sensor is what I'm trying to say. Courtney says, I'd say the Carty Method community website to get the best advice and tips to get better otherwise on all your social media platforms, but try to get professional advice. That is what Courtney is saying. I think to you, Kyle, yeah, go to thecartymethod.com, my guy, book a free consult with me, and I can help you. I can point you in the right direction as far as which way I think would be the best way to help you. All right, this is our next photographer. We are getting into the last few. We're down to our last 3 photos. This is Michael Steinmetz. Mike says, working on the end page assignment, but this isn't the one. Maybe it works on my book. These high-vis shirts make color balancing difficult. I think black and white works better than the color. R8, R50, 1.8, ISO 100, f11, a 50th of a second. 7-inch standard reflector with a 50-degree grid. This is Mikey Steinmetz. Mike, let's get it on. This is a vibe. This is a vibe. I mean, this is a... really, I wish the lens cap was off. I mean, the one thing about this picture is that the photographer always has to be ready to shoot, but the lens cap on means you're not actually ready to shoot. And then the fact that he has his hand on that camera as if he's about to pull it up and take a picture with the cap on, that's not a thing. So also this cap off, you see the glass, you see like the reflection of the glass and blah, 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 and it looks all sexy. We already see the Canon brand back here. I feel like this branding here is not necessary because in fact, it's taking away from the Carhartt branding, which is also very valid here. Framing wise, let's look at this as a cover. I definitely see it, but I feel like his knuckle here is a bit close to the edge of the frame. I feel like that's very claustrophobically close to the edge of the frame. Let's look at this as an 8x10. Works as an 8x10, and you can move this frame up. You can move this frame up. So yes, works as an 8x10. For me, the lens cap, man, lens cap, lens cap, lens cap. And again, for me, it's something like, even if I'm shooting thumbnails, I shoot a whole bunch of thumbnails where I'm holding my camera and then I'm looking at the pictures after, and then I had the lens cap on. Oh my God. If you're holding the camera, the lens cap can't be on it. You got to take it off. So especially if you're using a camera as a prop, there can't be a lens cap on it. Yeah, and then I ended up having to reshoot all of those pictures with no lens cap. So, Mike, this is a close swing. This is a close swing. I mean, the sharpness and everything is like just there. It's just a little tight. It's a little claustrophobic. And don't be afraid to bounce between your 100 and your 50. I know you got this new 100 millimeter macro and you love it so, but it's claustrophobic sometimes unless you have the space for it. So don't be afraid to flip into your 85 or your 50. Okay, this is Steinmetz, the one they call Mike. Thank you, buddy, for submitting. And then there were two. Calligraphy. Calligraphy says, Bon après midi, Carty crew and chief. Resubmission of my cover assignment from last week. Podcast host of the Cool Podcast with the Cool Brother. Nick and I are fixing the dust on the hat. Z8, 85 millimeter, ISO 200, 2.8, 200 of a second. Shot with the FJ 400 strobe. This is the mighty Calligraphy. Okay. Okay. I like the vibe. There's a vibe here, okay? Let's look at this as a cover. There's a vibe here. This is very editorial. This is very editorial. The suit feels like it's a little big for him. But it's a vibe. It's a vibe, definitely. Let's look at this as an 8x10. As an 8x10, I wouldn't want to cut away the kerchief. But I also don't want to cut the top of the hat, but I could if I had to. I could cut the top of the hat like right yay if I needed to without losing any of the image. Could also give it a little bit of space. Whichever one you prefer. This works for me, Kay. This is a yes. This is a yes. Taylor, are you happy? Yeah, this works. Just want to look at your highlights a second. Let's look at your highlights a second. We're getting a little hot in the highlights here where that black skin is starting to get too white. You can see it in here. So just make sure that your lights aren't so close. I like to move my lights back a little bit so they're not so on the subject, because that has a tendency to like burn out, which is what we're getting a little bit of here, is a little bit of burnout. But overall, this is a yes. Also really tricky to not get the moire effect up here in his hat. You see his hat as I go bigger, the moire effect is happening in the whites up here because of the dark and light vertical lines, although to you it seems like it's just a white band. To your camera, as you can see, as I'm getting smaller and the digital haywireness that happens in here. That's called the Moire effect. And that is because when you go very close, that is black and white vertical lines. So the Moire effect, you're seeing it here at 100% still. You're still seeing it in here, right? So again, small things. But again, this picture will definitely work. Just watch your highlights. Watch your highlights. Make sure your light isn't too close to your subject. By how big your light source is in his eyeballs, I'm feeling like your light source might be too close. Just back it off just a touch, okay? That'll help you greatly. Guys, that's calligraphy. Well done. How does he know? How does he know? How does he know? I'm Rain Man. I'm Rain Man. F11. F11. F11.
Yes, sir,
F11.
yes.
F11. 2/10 of a stop. 2/10. 3/10 of a stop. I'm Rain Man, bro. Guys, you ready for our last photo of the day? This is Ammon Thompson. Ammon says, this is a headshot from the last session with Julie last week. Fuji X-T5, 56mm 1.2, ISO 125, f8 at 2/50th of a second. Guys, are you ready for our last photo of the day? It's a 3-strobe setup, main beauty dish, gridded rim, and background fill. You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the one and only Mr. Ammon Thompson? Who's chasing me here? Jesus, why are you so close? Mr. Ammon Thompson. Let's get it on, Ammon. Very good, bro. This is much closer than the last image. Much closer. You're seeing now this rear light is not touching this nose in this area. It's just catching the nose a little bit here. Obviously catching the forehead a bit here. I want you to imagine her skin without this highlight here and without this highlight here. Look at how absolutely even and perfect her skin looks, right? When I pull that highlight and this highlight here, you see, like, I want this light to tuck more around. And I'd like the exposure. I mean, the exposure on this light feels like it's like 20% more. I want it to be a third over this light. I mean, it might be a third. But her skin looks amazing, really straight on. So I like the strong jaw. You have her turned a little bit on the 3/4, but the separation on the background that you're getting with a little bit of light back there is super dope. It's just this, and again, I talked to you about this and you didn't reshoot it, so the light placement is still the same. This is Ammon's background, this is his subject, this is his camera, and I need it to be back here-ish. So it's tucked around a little bit more because that light here is hitting her nose because it's not wrapped around her enough. So that is the lighting diagram. How I can tell, just so you know, how I'm able to do these lighting diagrams so quickly is you look at the eye, right? And you see from the highlight exactly what his source is. So his source is an umbrella with silver on the inside, and his head is aiming that way and the light's bouncing back out. And you can tell that just from the placement. Now, if you think of this as a clock, her eye as a clock, this is 12 o'clock, this is 6, this is 3, and this is 9. Based on the placement of the light, you can see that the light is at like 11 o'clock, right? So now if you go back to the full scene and I draw it for you, here's the background, here's the subject, here's Ammon. Now you draw the clock on top of this and imagine that 11 o'clock, because it's a mirror, like you're mirroring the light that you see reflecting in the eye back here. So then now if you draw that clock over top, that light is right here. And if this would be 6 o'clock, then this would be 7 o'clock. And then 8 o'clock, and then 9 o'clock would be right there. And then 10 o'clock, and then 11 o'clock, and then 12 o'clock. So basically, you can see, based on that light, exactly where he's placing the light, which is if his camera's here, and he's 6 o'clock. That's not a 6. That's a 6. Then the light's at 7 o'clock, and the subject is here. So you can tell all of that also by the shadow placement. And the shadow placement under the nose tells you that the light's not coming straight at her. It's above, because you can see it's above the 9 o'clock line here. It's above, which means it's above her head. And then based on the nose shadow that you can see tucked under here, you know it must be aiming down on her. And then based on the shadow that you see under the chin here, you know it also must be aiming down on her. And because that nose shadow isn't going this way or this way, it's going central, and it's reinforced by the placement of the light there, you know that this is front lighting. There should be no reason why you can't look at any single photo and know exactly how it was lit, whether it was lit artificially or naturally, just by following the shadows. And you can tell that his front light is diffused because this is a soft shadow, and this is a soft shadow, not a hard shadow. So Ammon, this is an 11 for me, bro. Thanks for letting me do a little light explanation using your photo. Exposure is perfect. The black on black is perfect. Black on black on black with the blue eyes hits incredibly hard. And she's got a nice, pleasant, approachable look on her face without it being overly anything. It works well as a cover. It works very well as a cover, and you'll see it also works very well as an 8x10. It works very well when you punch in just a little tighter. You see? So this is great. Again, Ammon's been with me for over a year now, and your progress, my guy, I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. This is Ammon Thompson, and that was the end of these assignments. But I know you guys want photo of the week. I know you want photo of the week, and I want to see photos of the week too. So I'm going to take a second while you guys talk amongst yourselves to look at the photographs that I was delivered today. Okay, here we go. Let's start. Photos of the week. Let's get into photos of the week. And if you wait till the end, I will give you a sneak peek. I'll give you a sneak peek of what next week's assignment is going to be 2 days early. So if you're one of those photographers that's in my portfolio lab and you submit and you know that the assignment gets posted Thursday, I tell you what the assignment is at the end of the show on Tuesday. So you find out 2 days early. Guys, our first photo of the week goes to... This is Ian Martin. Ian, that is a photo of the week, my guy. I'm still wanting to meet you. I'm still wanting you to come hang out with us in one of our Thursday Portfolio Lab workshops. You get access to that because you're inside Portfolio Lab. Please, I want to hear your voice. I want to see your face. This is Ian Martin. Photo of the week. Photo of the week number 1. All right, more photos of the week. Photo of the week going to William Sedgwick. William, well done, buddy. Very well played. Excellent, excellent, excellent quality. Remember everything I said. Remember, you're going to take this and apply this to other oomph kind of portraits, but And also, you're going to drop the high-speed sync and all the other stuff I said. But yeah, you did it. Well done. Well done. William Sedgwick, who very close photo of the week goes to Gerard Danso. Photo of the week, Gerard. Congratulations, buddy. This is, again, remember everything that I said about this photo, but for you, the level up on this picture, I am so proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. You've been working hard during the time that you've been with me. You've been really paying attention, and the level of your work jumped considerably this week. I'm very, very, very proud of you. This is Gerard Danso. Well done, Gerard. You deserve it. Whew. Guys, remember Gerard's pictures from 3 weeks ago. Just 3 weeks ago. And look what he's doing right now. I wonder if it's worth the $47 for you, buddy. All right. Hard on these two photos, but still there's a vibe. There's a vibe here. It was hard on these two photos, but still giving respect where respect is due, which is with the photographer, not necessarily me being frustrated with the subject that you shot. This photographer welcoming her back with a photo of the week. This is Natalie Bennett. Natalie, well done, Natalie. Photo of the week. Congratulations. And right after Natalie, there came this photographer that I was also incredibly hard on, but not hard on the photographer, hard on the subject. This is Juan Herrera. Photo of the week, Juan. Again, it's not you, it's he. It's not you, it's he. I'd love to see this applied to a different, you know everything I said, blah, blah, blah. Juan Herrera. Photo of the week. Photo of the week. This is Joshua Haney. Joshua, there you go, buddy. It's another photo of the week for you. Again, I pointed out quite a few things that you can do in order to make this just insane, but what you did on your own, the location that you picked, like this is an 11 out of 10. That small little tweak that I told you would make this honestly a 12. Okay, Taylor, are you about it? Yeah, she's about it. Let's get it on. That was Mr. Joshua Haney. Photo of the week. Again, an older photo from this shooter, but he hit it. He hit it, and he hit it hard. Guys, photo of the week from Taylor Valentine. Taylor, well done, buddy. Very well done. Again, really works for your portfolio. I know you've updated gear and sensibility, but you were onto something here. This also reminds you to go out and shoot during the day. Sometimes don't be always at night, and you're onto something here. More. Cool. All right. More. Thanks. Photo of the week. How's my heart? Let's make sure I'm not dying. No, I'm all right. Good. Okay, good. Photo of the week. Photo of the week goes to Mr. Anton Dudis. Anton, let's get it on. That's a photo of the week for you, my guy. Again, remember everything I said. It's very strong. It holds up. It's very strong. You got something here. It's a crazy location. Crazy. That's a photo of the week for Anton Dudis. Taylor? All right. She's happy. Yep. And yep. Photo of the week for the mighty calligraphy. Photo of the week, buddy. Very well done. I like it. There's something here. You are on to something. You're on to something. On to something. All right. That is calligraphy. Well done. All right. Next, and finally, the man, the myth, the legend, Amund Thompson with this photo of the week. Congratulations, Amund. Congratulations, everybody who submitted today and everybody who won photos of the week. I got nothing but love for everybody. It is difficult to put your work up and have your work reviewed by someone else. And it's difficult to hear that your photography is shit or you need a lot of help. It's difficult, but it's also a gift because there's nothing worse than you thinking that you're good. There's nothing worse than thinking that you're good. Like, oh my God, Helmut Newton. Helmut Newton, one of my favorite photographers. He died in 2007 at age 82 on a photo shoot for Vogue. Helmut Newton said, and keep in mind, Helmut Newton was shooting for Vogue at age 22. Okay? Helmut Newton was shooting for Vogue at age 22. Vogue, supermodels. He single-handedly brought sex into fashion. And Helmut Newton, and I quote, he said, I didn't really get good until I was 50. Okay? So for me, I just turned 54 last year. I would say the same. I've been shooting professionally since I was 20, 22. I got my first studio at 20. Shot my first cover at 23. I shot for Vogue at 50. 52, I think, was the first time I got published in Vogue. So it's a lifetime, you know? This is a lifetime of work. And thinking that you're good early, before the 5-year mark, and again, being humble, man. Being humble makes you, number one, likable, and number two, so much better of a photographer. Because when you realize that you're shit, you're always going to be looking for information to make you better. You're always going to be looking at photographers that are better than you. And in looking at photographers that are better than you, you get better by default. It's almost osmosis. It truly is. Do I have a photo of the week? I mean, do I have a best in show today? Do I have a best in show today? And also, do I have a best in show today? Yeah, just one. Just one. Just because this photographer hit it so out of the park and it's new work and something clicked. So I'm giving best in show to one photographer today. That photographer is Gerard Danso. Gerard, congratulations. This is your first best in show. William, thank you so much for saying so. First best in show. Congratulations. You should be incredibly proud. You should be jumping up and down right now, wherever you are. Remember everything that I said during this photo review, but I am incredibly proud of you. That was Portfolio Lab. All right, so now you guys want to know what your assignment is for next week, right? You want to know what next week's assignment is? It's important. You should want to know what next week's assignment is. This is the biggest secret ever. The fact that you're watching now, you get 2 extra days to prepare. So it starts like this. Create a lifestyle hero assignment. Create a powerful, authentic lifestyle image that feels aspirational yet accessible, showcasing a product, a person, or a place in its ideal context. So what is a lifestyle image in photography? A lifestyle image, it captures real life moments in a natural and authentic way. Unlike the typical posed portraits and pictures that we do, lifestyle photography focuses on storytelling, and it shows people in their everyday moments, whether they're at home, at work, or out in the world. The goal is to not make snapshots. It's to make pictures of regular people doing regular things and photograph them in a stylized way. You can't necessarily catch a lifestyle picture. You have to create it. And these images are used they often use natural light. They're always going to be in a real setting, which makes them feel more immersive. While lifestyle photography might feel candid, it's actually quite staged. And I'm going to show you like my favorite lifestyle photographer, Jeff Lipsky. And when you look at Lipsky's lifestyle work and see that he photographs the biggest stars for the biggest campaigns, but understand this is all created. He casts the people, he goes to the locations, and he makes these stylized reality pictures. There's nothing here that is caught. This is all created moments for editorial, for brands. So knowing how to shoot lifestyle is an essential skill because it crosses over into advertising. It crosses over into like more money than you can shake a stick at. Once you understand the difference between taking pictures and making pictures, then you can make pictures that look like you're taking pictures. You can stylize reality like this very. You think the odds of these three girls wearing the exact same brand of bathing suits standing side by side, all hot and sexy on a perfect beach that's untouched? Like, this is stylized reality. And these doers ads, like these are all things that are created. This is lifestyle photography applied to advertising. Like, he's got such a likable sensibility. And when you see his work on magazine covers and how many magazine covers this guy has shot, like, he's a portrait photographer that shoots lifestyle in a very believable, likable way. Jeff Lipsky. So this is your assignment, is to create a lifestyle picture and understand that lifestyle photography is everywhere. From branding, advertising, social media, editorial work, brands use it to showcase their products in a real world context. So part of this is, what are you selling? Like all the stuff I showed you with Lipsky, it's like for doers, or it's for the surfboard company, or it's for the tuxedo. Like, what is the brand? Like, while influencers and entrepreneurs rely on lifestyle to craft a personal, engaging experience, it's also widely used in wedding photography and family photography to document natural moments rather than stiff poses. What makes lifestyle photography different? It's more relaxed than portrait photography. It's more curated than documentary photography, and it's less fashion focused than editorial work. It's about capturing life as it happens, stylized, with just enough artistic direction to make it visually appealing. So if you're a people photographer, the goal with this assignment, and again, it's due next week, Wednesday, not tomorrow, but next week, Wednesday, midnight Eastern time. If you shoot people, capture subjects that are engaged in genuine activities that reflect an aspirational lifestyle. And Show authentic interactions with environments or products. With people photography, we're not thinking necessarily about eye contact. We're thinking about engagement that's happening with the subject doing something on their own or with two subjects interacting with each other. And I want you to focus on peak moments that feel natural yet visually compelling. And I'm going to remind you again, this isn't someone looking off into the distance. It's someone doing something. Create an emotional connection through body language. Like, you can't fake body language. You can't have someone fake swinging a baseball bat or fake, like, I want it to feel real. If you shoot places, I want you to document environments that embody a desirable lifestyle. If this is lifestyle photography, if you shoot places, you have to take a stand. And preferably, if you want to get paid to do it, you want to show desirable locations, desirable lifestyle locations. Capture spaces during the right time of day, golden hour. This is a natural light, kind of a natural feel. So you're not really going to be able to artificially light this. And this goes for the people photographers as well. This is a natural light feeling. So if you're using artificial light, it has to feel as if it's natural light. Like, I shouldn't be able to tell that it's artificially lit. I want you to show locations, if you're a places photographer, that feel both aspirational and accessible. And I want you to create depth through environmental storytelling elements. Now, if you shoot things, I want you to stage products in an authentic context. Like, don't shoot stuff in the studio. Create a scene or actually use the real places. Show items being used naturally in their intended environment. Create compositions that tell a lifestyle story through product integration, and balance product visibility with lifestyle authenticity. It can't be so much like, here, we're having a Coke. It's like, no, make it more understated. So, real people in real life situations doing real things captured in a natural, believable storytelling way. Who's got a question for me? Who's got a question? Somebody questioned. Yeah, Jeff Lipsky is definitely one of my photo gods. Who has a question? You're curious about the places lifestyle? Okay, guys, I'm about to dip out. So if you have a question, somebody command queued me. I'm imagining that was you, Liam. You retracted your message. All right, so no question. Guys, real people doing real things, photographed in a stylish way, preferably around a product or a story. Think about that. Okay. I hope today brought you value. You know me, I've been Carty. You can find me on all the social media platforms at Steve Carty on Instagram. I'm at Steve Carty everywhere. You can go to stevecarty.com if you want to deep dive my website, see my tear sheets, personal work, read about me. And if you need help with your photography, go to thecartymethod.com. It's the fastest way for you to get from zero to hero. I have so many people in there. I have so many people who I help in Portfolio Lab. I only have like roughly 100 spaces for Portfolio Lab. I already have 100 people inside Portfolio Lab. So keep in mind, I can't do photo reviews for everybody. So if you're trying to get yourself in my system, Portfolio Lab. And also phase 0, setting your stage. If you are stuck with your photography business, if you're trying to start a photography business, if you're trying to fix your existing shit photography business that's not making any money, and your wife's pissed off at you and you're sleeping in the garage, and soon you're going to get a divorce because you got thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment and you haven't figured out how to make money with it. If that's you, phase 0, which sets your stage and gets you ready for my future coaching, whether that's one-on-one with me or by doing my self-paced courses, phase 1 to 6. Guys, I've been Carty. I hope today brought you value. Sunglasses, because the lights are bright, the screens are bright. I'm dealing with looking at fine details on pictures, and my eyes are my most important asset. So, Liam asks, I'm sorry I forgot to put in the question, but if it was 5 of my podcasts to listen to, watch anything I talk about the one-person business model for photographers. I also did an episode yesterday where I talk about how to start your photography business. Most of my stuff is long form. You're not going to find anything that's like 10 minutes that's going to give you the amount of information that you need. This is why I do 3 long form podcasts a week. I do Tuesday a month. Imagine. I do 3 a week. I do 12 a month. Okay. So, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, you can find me here live. And then I do edited videos from time to time. Tuesday, Thursday's Portfolio Lab. And then the Carte Method, I do coaching. I do one-on-one coaching. I do portfolio reviews. I run an accelerator, and I have self-paced courses. All of this stuff is on thecartemethod.com. Guys, I hope today helped you. One love. And believe me, you got a lot of work to do. You better start right now.
This live stream was brought to you by Pixpa, the best website builder for photographers and creatives, and Indie, the best way to run your freelance business, and by you, the members and subscribers of the Carte Method. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month to show your support for our content, and we'll reward you. You get members-only content every month, and Carty has the best emojis on YouTube, and you'll get that crown badge next to your name. If you're building a photography business, make sure you join Portfolio Lab. How ready are you to be a pro? Take the Carte Method Pro Photographer's Readiness Scorecard. You'll always find helpful links in the show notes. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert. Even if the content you're sharing isn't yours, be a curator and share this content with your network. Find your creative and business genius with the Carte Method.
Make sure you're subscribed and you have the bell notifications on. And also, please consider becoming a member, because I am doing some secret live streams very soon where you'll actually get a chance to talk to me one-on-one in a casual situation. And again, I'm doing these for the members. I'm promising you at least one hangout with me live in a secret location, or one photo shoot that you get to watch every month. I'm doing some crazy stuff for the members of this channel, so please consider subscribing and becoming a member. And again, if it's just subscribing that you can do, make sure you hit the bell notification, because I am a fire hose. I put out content ferociously to help you get to the next level. I hope today brought you value.